After 5 years of reporting on abuse cover-up in the Diocese of Scranton, I finally got the opportunity to introduce myself to Bishop Bambera at our annual men's conference last October. Bishop Bambera did not know who I was and indicated he never saw the 3 letters I wrote to him addressing questions about his intimate knowledge of and involvement with predatory priests that have harmed children and put many others at risk. We will soon be releasing a series of videos to address these questions and additional questions that have come to our attention due to the information given to us by numerous trusted sources within the diocese. I'm Paul the Angry Catholic with some of the questions we have for Bishop Bambera in our upcoming videos. Bishop Bambera, is it true that you just gave approval to former priest Father Paul Fontanella to solicit his music services to some local parishes, even with your knowledge about his scandalous behavior and the reasons surrounding his retirement from the priesthood? Last month, you removed Father Ruth from ministry for behavior that would have occurred around the time you lived with him in seminary. Did you see any of his troubling behavior while you two were in seminary together? And is it true that you regularly sent priests with problematic sexual behavior issues to live with Monsignor Bendick? And has he provided cover for problematic priests? And how can parents find out if their son's photo is in the box of pictures of children found on Father Paulish's desk at St. Elizabeth's before his leave of absence and later arrest? And why did you ignore professional recommendation that Father Boylan should not be a pastor and instead installed him as pastor of St. Patrick's? I mean, you've known about his sexual problems since the mid-90s. And is it true that when you served on the board of trustees for the University of Scranton, you withheld key information about grave immoral behavior that eventually led to the abuse of a 16-year-old boy on the grounds of the university? And why have you allowed the parishioners of St. Nicholas Parish in Wilkes-Barre to think that Ed Locke, longtime music minister, has retired when you know you removed him for sending disgusting sexual texts to what he thought was a 15-year-old boy? And why would you immediately ordain Father Lockney right after you were installed as bishop, knowing that Bishop Martino had reservations due to the fact Father Lockney left the North American College in Rome in scandal and was a victim of sexual abuse himself by someone in our diocese? And after meeting with the current victim of Monsignor Delaney and knowing about 4 other allegations that you deemed credible, why on earth would you let a seminarian live with Monsignor Delaney to be mentored by him? And now that Monsignor Kelly has been found guilty under canon law of sexual abuse of minors, why haven't you reached out to the thousands of children that Monsignor Kelly has had access to for decades through Camp St. Andrews, Project Hope, and St. Michael's School for Boys? And since you were personally involved in the Father Gibson case, why didn't you report his immoral and criminal behavior to the authorities? I mean, at the time, you were the vicar of clergy and mandated by law. Now, we were informed by the Pennsylvania Attorney General's office that all the information you provided to them was included in their report. So my question is, why was certain concerning and problematic behavior regarding predatory priests in our diocese left out of the report? And why would you still be inclined to ordain men to the diaconate and the priesthood that clearly do not embrace the Catholic understanding of human sexuality? And finally, Your Excellency, when we met last October, the last thing I shared with you was about a concern I had. I had been made aware that a former priest in our diocese that you removed from ministry was befriending unsuspecting families in parishes throughout our diocese. The priest has a Netflix documentary that details the sexual abuse he allegedly inflicted on a young boy. Unfortunately, at the time, I could not remember his name, but I figured you'd reach out to me for the details, and I'm still waiting to hear from you. In the coming weeks, I will dive a little deeper into these questions. I'm Paul the Angry Catholic. If you have information that can help, email us at mail@theangrycatholic.com. Stay active, stay alert, and stay angry.